They all think I'm the family fool, the quiet one, the black sheep who never quite fit in. But look at me now, standing in this echoing study, holding the key to everything. I got the house. Not Julian, the successful cousin, not Aunt Margaret, who always judged my career path. Aunt Beatrice made absolutely sure of it. This whole scenario is the final bizarre joke of the great matriarch, and now I'm finally here, preparing to open her final cryptic safe. The combination? It's just my birthday. A simple gesture, but one that already makes my throat tighten with emotion. I input the number slowly, feeling the tumblers click into place. Okay, Beatrice, let's see what twisted treasure you've left the family disappointment. The inheritance, they said, the great Hawthorne fortune. But the moment I read the accompanying note, I knew the game was rigged. This house isn't a gift. It's collateral. It's a threat. Her handwriting, usually so elegant and flowing, was shaky on this final message. Pay what is owed, Ilara, or they'll claim the Rosewood box. Pay who? Owed what? I don't understand the first thing about debt or claims. I forced the heavy safe door open, braced for deeds or jewels, but inside there was only a single, ordinary framed photograph. That's all. Not money, not the deed, just this man. I pulled it out, my fingers tracing the outline of the glass. Who is this? He looks so much like my father, my quiet, gentle history teacher dad, but younger and harder, with a coldness in his eyes I'd never seen. And he's wearing a military uniform, but not any division I recognize. Dad was a pacifist, a devoted academic. He hated the army. This means a double life, a secret existence I never knew about. And on the back, handwritten in a panicked scrawl, is the date, October 1995. What happened in 1995? Who was this man before he was my father? It doesn't make sense, and yet it feels more real than anything I've known. My eyes drift to the far wall, behind Beatrice's heavy oak desk. I remember a childhood superstition, a whisper among the servants about a phantom room. I always dismissed it as silly, the kind of story kids invent to make a boring house interesting. But now, looking at the dark paneling, I see it. The seam is too perfect, too continuous with the grain to be accidental. There, a small, almost invisible lever, hidden by years of dust. I press it, and the stone wall groans loudly, heavy wood and stone grinding against each other. This isn't a storage closet or a wine cellar. This is a bunker. A frighteningly sparse surveillance hub filled with dust and the smell of forgotten secrets. And on the single table sits the answer, or maybe just the next terrifying question, an ancient reel-to-reel tape recorder. What could Beatrice have been monitoring, and who was she listening to with such intense paranoid dedication for so many years? I pick up the only tape, and my heart stops, the breath catching high in my chest. It's labeled with my mother's name, Sarah. And that cursed date again, October 1995. This wasn't Dad's secret. This was Mom's all along. I thread the tape onto the spindle, my hands shaking uncontrollably. This is the moment I find out everything I was never meant to know. Everything the family silenced themselves over. I lean in closer, straining to hear over the static. I hear Mom's voice. That's definitely her, but frantic, arguing with Beatrice. And then the words, the single gut-wrenching sentence that tears my entire childhood apart, shattering the memory of the funeral, the headstone, the grief. Mom didn't die of cancer in 2005. She faked it. I had to run, Bia. He was going to take everything. She ran away, leaving me to grieve a death that never happened. She's alive. Beatrice is screaming about a man named Victor, her voice cracking with pure terror, the sound of genuine fear, not anger. He'll kill us all if we don't return what was in the rosewood box. The box isn't a family heirloom. It's a container for something dangerous. Stolen bonds, maybe? Something worth killing over. The pieces are fitting together, sickeningly fast. Victor is the man in the photograph, the man I mistakenly thought was my father. No! The man in the photo is Victor, the mobster, the criminal my mother married before she met Dad. He's not Dad's brother. He's Mom's first husband, the one she was running from in 1995, the one who held the key to the family's destruction. And my mild-mannered history teacher father? He was just the kind, silent man who took her in and raised her daughter as his own. I hear Beatrice's final plea on the tape, the reason for all the secrecy, all the distance. I'm protecting Alara. Victor doesn't know she exists. We have to keep her safe. All those years of coldness from Beatrice, the judging glances, it was protection, a shield built out of silence and sacrifice. I turn off the recorder, needing absolute silence to process the magnitude of the lie, the depth of the deception. My mother didn't just run, she created a ghost. I push myself back, my gaze falling back to the tape recorder, and I notice the screws on the base of the machine are slightly looser than they should be, meticulously loose. A deliberate flaw. Another compartment? Another clue? A shallow space. And inside, a small, worn dog tag. Arthur Hawthorne. Beatrice's brother. I compare the name to the photo I still clutch. It was Arthur who was wearing the uniform. The man I thought was my father. My history teacher, Dad, wasn't my father. He was my uncle who stepped up. Arthur is my real father, and he must have agreed to the lie to save Sarah from Victor. I pull out a handwritten ledger from the compartment as well, an accounting of the crime, written in Arthur's own tight script. It details the bond theft, but adds a critical, shocking footnote. Victor's money, $500,000. Arthur's switch, paper. The bonds weren't stolen, they were counterfeit. A massive, unbelievably dangerous prank my father pulled on a mobster, swapping the real assets for worthless paper. The true value was nothing. The whole house, the inheritance, the $500,000 I was supposed to pay, it all clicks into place. A perfectly engineered clockwork mechanism. It wasn't a debt to the mob. It was the lifetime insurance payment Beatrice made for decades to keep Victor from finding out Arthur had duped him with fake money, and to keep him away from me. The debt is emotional, paid in silence and fear. I scan the dusty ledger one last time, desperate for the end. An almost invisible inscription catches the light on the margin. The box rests where our rosewood tree was cut down. The old garden shed. I have to go now. I know I'm minutes away from the end of this twisted path. I race out to the overgrown patch behind the house, grabbing an old spade from the shed, the humid air heavy with the smell of wet earth. My heart is pounding, knowing this is the final moment. This is where the truth, or a corpse, lies. I find the spot beneath the rotten stump, digging fast, ignoring the dirt spraying my face. And then the spade hits wood. It's here. The rosewood box. I haul it up, straining. It is heavy, impossibly heavy for its size. I pry the lid open with the edge of the spade. My breath catches. Inside, there are no bonds, no gold, just a small tarnished handgun and a sealed letter. I clutch the letter, my hand shaking so badly I almost drop it. This is Beatrice's final confession, her testament. I ripped the envelope open, tearing the paper in my haste. My eyes scanned the shaky script. Alara's voice is shaking, forcing the words out, trying to keep control. I couldn't let Victor hurt you, Alara. Not after what he did to Arthur. I had to stop him. He found out about the counterfeit bonds, and he came here for revenge. Then the sentence that freezes the blood in my veins, stopping my breath. Victor is buried beneath this stump. I did it, Alara. I made the mess. All that money was to keep my secret from the police. Beatrice was a murderer. She shot the mobster and buried him beneath the tree stump to protect her brother's child, her legacy. And then, just as I fold the confession, accepting this final devastating truth, a torn piece of paper slips out from the crease, a legal document, Victor's death certificate. I hold the two documents side by side, realizing the ultimate betrayal. He died in 2015 of a heart attack. Victor died of natural causes 10 years ago. Beatrice didn't kill him. She lied in her confession. She took the blame for a murder that never happened. Why? She did this to shield my mother, Sarah, from the potential scandal or legal trouble of marrying a criminal, running with counterfeit money, and then having that criminal die on her watch, leaving her tied to his criminal organization. It was a beautiful, tragic act of final, complete sacrifice. She ensured that if anyone ever found this box, I would believe she was the killer, preserving Mom's secret identity and life on the run. All of this, the safe, the cryptic note, the photo, the hidden tape, the planted confession, it was a carefully constructed puzzle. She didn't leave me an inheritance. She left me the truth, packaged as a mystery I could solve, forcing me to learn the kind of protective, ferocious love that runs in our family. My mother is alive, the only living person who knows the full, complete truth about what happened after she ran. Beatrice gave me the gun, the symbol of protection and choice, and the money to finally use it as I choose. The debt is paid. Paid in blood and lies, and a lifetime of silence, and a love I'm only just now beginning to understand. I have the house, I have the truth, and I have the money. My first choice is clear. I'm going to go find my mother. I check the tarnished gun one last time. And there in the hollow of the chamber is one last, tiny, perfectly folded note from Beatrice. The truth is a bullet. Choose your target carefully. Beatrice, you old witch. The game is over, but the story is just beginning.